Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
So this morning we're in Calgary. We're just outside of the hotel. We have a long drive, at least 7 hours of straight driving, but that doesn't include charging. So we'll see what we need to do there. But one of the things I appreciate, I've done research on charging options through a Better Route Planner and Plug Share and so forth. So I know that there are lots of options. The best device, the best approach is actually the integrated Google Maps for this vehicle. It's definitely one of the advantages the Polestar has, is the integrated Android system and integrated Google Maps, and Google has the best intel on charging options for sure, and it's really quite intuitive. So today, for example, I just plugged in our destination, said multiple charging stops, and then said, here, this is what we think you should do. We being Android, Google anyways, and it's given us an option to, after a couple of hours, a couple of hours drive, we will still have plenty of battery. We charged up to 89% last night, and we suggested we stop at a flow charging station, and so we will do that, check in there, grab a coffee, that kind of thing, and then we'll see where we go from there. But it's laid out a map with charging options all the way through, so we may or may not follow exactly that, but we'll see how it goes. And the weather today, it was, Jewel had a warm night. She parked in the heated basement of the hotel.
After a spa day. And so so she's nice and toasty warm this morning. I even warmed her up a little bit remotely, just to preheat the car, precondition it just to get the battery ready and primed for us for our drive. And Aiden, you had a nice visit with your uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we enjoyed a stop in Calgary, and now we're off to Regina.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
We've had a long day. It's a long day of travel. It was basically, we left at 8:15 this morning and arrived in Regina from Calgary at 8:15 in the evening. So 12 hours of travel time. The trip computer shows it was 8 hours of that was actual drive time. We traveled 778 or 780 kilometers over anyways, that's the distance. We managed to get the other side of Regina. That's where we booked our hotel this evening. So we have a early, we don't get any traffic on the way out of Regina as we head to Winnipeg tomorrow. The energy consumption was the real story, I think, of today. Average today is 25.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is not good. It's may have been some wind, but it certainly was the cold. It is cold.
It's minus 11 now.
It's minus 11, and it was colder earlier when we were driving. We were down to minus 16.
Yeah.
When we left Calgary, it was minus 8. So yeah, it's been a cold drive, and that I'm sure that's had an impact, because otherwise it's the prairies. It's
flat surfaces.
Yeah, there's some small, but not much to speak of. Certainly nothing that would have caused that kind of energy consumption. So it really has to be the cold. There may have been some wind effect. I was mindful about speed. Early part, I was going a little bit faster than the speed limit's 110 kilometers per hour. Probably averaging a little bit more than that in the early part. Saw the energy consumption, and so I pulled back and stuck at that 110 kilometers per hour pretty much for the last half of the drive, if not. But it's still, you could see as the temperature dropped, how the energy consumption increased. So definitely a correlation. I don't know how much of it is, but it's not insignificant, I think. So we did 4 charges.
Yes.
So we stopped at a flow station in Brook. Then I'm going to get this wrong. It was Medicine Hat.
Yes.
Swift Current.
Yes.
And now in Regina.
Trimming your hat.
Yes.
Medicine Hat.
Aiden's puns.
He loves his puns. So, and we arrived, and so we had good charge all the way through, meaning that we weren't running low right up until this last charge, actually. So from, we probably could have made an extra stop if we wanted to, but we pushed through and we made it to Regina. We ended up at this PetroCanada charging station at with 7% of the battery.
6%.
6%. Thank you. I'm being reminded. 6%. Third time. And so it did.
But I love you anyway.
Thank you. I love you too. So anyway, 7%, which is low. It's the lowest I've let the car get on any sort of drive. And of course, and then I did feel a bit of that anxiety because you're pulling into the PetroCanada and you're just hoping that it's going to work.
Yes.
And in fact, there are 2 charging stations here, and one of them is the other one connected it. It didn't take. It connected it again. Thankfully, it took. And actually, it charged. Sorry.
That maybe at one point I was going to be pushing the car.
No, I think I would have been pushing it. Too damn cold to push. I don't know what we would have done. Anyways, it was but the charge has been good. It is charging well. It's actually now charged, and 72%. So we're going to carry on to the hotel and get an early start tomorrow, and we'll touch base then.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.